Greetings to the crypto community. We are pseudo-anonymous. We are here to smash that like button. We believe this content needs to reach more people like you. We are watching. We are listening. Most importantly, we are liking and subscribing. We are pseudo-anonymous. Expect us.
Cause baby, you made a bad call. You know we used to cash in fast. You trashed it all so damn fast. Cause baby, now I played your bad call. You hyped that trade, I paid the rate. Did you have to push it? Pumped your guru call. I was on your signal, now I've lost it all. Bought your bullshit breakout, thought you'd have my back. Coins burned up in minutes, you're a fucking hack. Oh, it kills me too. Think of the fat gains I lost today. Cause baby, you made a bad call. You know we used to cash in fast. You trashed it all so damn fast. Cause baby, now I played your bad call.
Yo, did I call the dip, huh? Slow with the flare. Charge my terrain. I'm the king up in there. Streams my machine, hype's my domain. You took the hit, can't feel that pain. Trade hot shot, yeah, fans eat my spin. You tanked hard, that's your sin. Not my fault, I don't miss a take. Still cashing clout, no mistakes.
Oh, it kills me too. Think of the fat gains I lost today. Cause baby, you made a bad call. You know we used to cash in fast. You trashed it all so damn fast. Cause baby, now I played your bad call.
Yo, guru with the 1 minute fame slipping. Flags crashing hard, you're a fraud, I'm ripping. Streams hot, clout chase a prick on the mic. Stacks gone quick, you're a scam, that's right. Ego fat, call suck, you're out of touch. Bump that trash, left me broke too much. YouTube king, nah, just a hype machine. Crypto's mine, your done has been seen.
Did you think I'd take it? Eat your garbage call. Your cloud's dead to me now. Watch your bullshit fall. Cause baby, you made a bad call. You know we used to cash in fast. You trashed it all so damn fast. Cause baby, now I played your bad call. Bad call.
You're toast, that's all.
Yeah, you're toast. Yeah, you're toast. Bad call. Bad call. You're toast. That's all. Yeah, you're toast.
Yesterday, I thought my profits were here to stay. Like Superman, up, up and away. Oh, I remember yesterday. Suddenly, my funds half of what they used to be. I took too much leverage like a newbie. Oh, I remember yesterday. Why I sold too low, I don't know, I couldn't say. I didn't know how far it could go. How I long for yesterday. Yesterday, crypto dreams were just a trade away. Now I'm stuck with losses every day. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why I chased that dip, I don't get it, went astray. I overplayed my hand in this game. How I miss my yesterday. Yesterday. I believe in yesterday. Yesterday. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
Check, 1 2 1 2.
I bought the dip, thought I'd ride it high. Bitcoin bloomed, then it bled me dry. Holding tight, nights a low hum. Market spins, I'm going numb.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin our evening with the usual ritual of the cowbell. Let us join me now. It is time for the ringing of the cowbell. Grab your dinglings and swing them back and forth till they sing with pleasure. Feel that joy come into your life as we play with our dinglings. Strap up, hold on to your seats. We are about to launch the show. Sean, get your fingers on the trigger and let's go.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Can't find my mouse. There's my mouse. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the stream tonight. You're watching Late Night Crypto with Road Dog. And we got Ave Medina being here first tonight. Shout out to you, my friend. Yay! Congratulations, my friend. You are a fast one. That you are. Floki's Angels comes in and says, hey, dog, I love your show. Never get tired of that. Oh, no. Oh, maybe it's the battery. It's just a nice thing to say, and I like it. Thank you so much for your support. We got some other people in here. Who else do we have? We got Haven Peck. I see you there. Reese John, MG Motorsports, Brack is Adventures, Road Glide, Joe from Trade Intuition. Hey, look, I got this up tonight. Look, this is Joe's channel. Go check him out. He's got some music out there too, like I do. I think he's actually making videos for him. I don't know. They got the words going across the screen and all that, but he's posting them here. It's also in wherever you can stream music. Just say, Alexa, play songs from Trade Intuition. You can also say, Alexa, play songs from Road Dog Crypto. And then you can help us all out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm not through with the chat yet, am I? Did he say strap up or strap on? Pretty sure it's strap on. Bracket says more cowbell. Sometimes we need a little bit more cowbell in our life. This might be one of those times. The market is, well, she's just being what she is, right? Haven says, I wouldn't be using fibs if it wasn't for this man. Well, hey, I like that. Thank you for that. The fibs are a magical tool, I will tell you. And I keep learning more and more about them as I go, but I have to do it slow because it's just too much for me to, you know, so. But I'm applying them in a different way tonight on something. Nice jacket. I really like that one. Hey, thank you very much. I need to get some more at some point. Well, this market picks up, maybe we can go on a shopping spree, but this market's got to pick up. Here's what I'm looking at right now. This is the 6-minute time frame, but we were working. Maybe I should come to another one before I get to this chart. Did you really? Well, bless your little heart. I got two different ideas going on right now. One of them is saying, go ahead, get in on that long. No one's saying, hell no, don't do it. She's coming down, then get in. So we kept dropping when we zoom out. I guess I should zoom out. Probably a good idea. It's always a good idea to zoom out first. You notice when we ask for a coin, even when you ask for one that's on like a smaller time frame, I zoom down into it. I take my bigger picture to smaller, and that's just a good way to be more accurate instead of just diving in and just seeing what you see on whatever time frame. You need to zoom out and then kind of zoom in. All right, so I believe we were talking about this. This was the great little top here. That was the second little top there, the little higher low. That's the first warning sign that, something's not right. It's then it came back and tricked us with that higher low, which was one of their favorite little tricks to do there. And I think we're starting to finish we're experiencing that little boogery guy. Here we come, crushing all the way down here. Now, we had fib levels pulled. It started with some over here trying to catch a smaller fib in those areas, see if we can get a big move. But I pulled our fibs from low to high and did this last night during the stream too, and even went back over it during the end of the stream. And it actually nailed it during the stream. The price was coming down. It was getting close to there. But this is the level that we're looking at for the bigger picture of it holding. And if we were to hold here, okay, so I say if we were to hold this area like we zigzagged around, bouncing off of a 236 Fibonacci retracement is extremely bullish. I'm looking at this for a couple of reasons. One, there's some moving averages down here that suggest that maybe we could catch a little bounce down here. The other reason is, gosh, kind of forget about this stuff when I'm locked in on small time frames all day. This is bullish cross right here. It sure is. Ever notice when you get these bigger ones crossing, sometimes you get a drop after? That's kind of interesting. It happens a lot, though. I hope it doesn't mean we have to come down and talk to this one, because that could mean down here. We'll get to that idea. So the idea is, now, normally we don't bounce off of here. Normally we come down a little bit more here or even lower, okay, when it comes to the foot fib pulls. But at this point in the market, the bigger picture thing, this could be a possibility if they're going to zoom us up to the upside. And that's what we were very much feeling over here. That sentiment is dying down now, as if you might notice. The market's getting a little bit shaky, a little bit scared, and altcoins are the reason why they're getting scared. Today actually was kind of decent for altcoins, but they are working on giving back some of those gains, it looks like. We'll take a look at the total 3 here in just a second to get a better view of altcoins. But this is our 4 hour, and she broke our channel, so well, that sucks. We got a measure move from that guy that kind of suggests that she might be coming all the way down here to about 98,000. I tried to give it all the wiggle room that I could give her and extended that channel. Respecting that angle all the way down here. Now, I don't know, but that's just a bigger measure move to a bigger, scarier price. So that's not where the bulk of the action was, so I don't really trust that. But we'll do it for fun and just for shoots and giggles. That brings us all the way down here to the Lucy line, which is negatively under the 800. Now, that sandbags us a little bit, but it's not really that big of a thing, in my personal opinion. We can get some distance between us and them. When she is down there. Eventually she crosses bullish, and then that goes really nice. This was when she crossed bullish last time, and that was right before we blasted off to the upside. So you might want to keep those ideas in mind. So that ribbon flip right here, the purple got above the red, got above the orange. Those are the big, strong moving average. Yes, I am IQ bears. So we haven't got that full flip going on, but when we do, oh boy. So the question is, are we going to low around all summer? Was it sell and may walk away? Because looking at the charts, I'm just saying, that didn't look like it's a bad idea, does it? You're looking back at this area now above the 236 saying, man, I wish I'd sold more up here. See how that works? It's just totally opposite of what we do when we try to find that little bargain zone to buy them. This was the premium zone to be selling. It's still good to sell, I'm just saying, if you're trying to short. But and I am but trying to long anywhere of all the little stops along the way, and there's been several little stops, and we just keep breaking them all. Right now, I didn't see that before. I didn't notice that before. What is that red line? Well, now I have no idea what that red. I think that was a previous. I'm not really sure what the hell that is. What is that, Helen? Well, it's a 382 from that pull. Oh, was it here? Is that what we're doing? Did we go from here all the way to there because we did our little flaggy thing? Is that what we're doing? Okay, and we had that was our initial 2, 3, 6 we were looking. I got a lot of the one that we got now is the big one, okay? I mean, this is the one that really counts. We were looking at the baby fibs there, trying to hope that we got some respect there. We didn't get it. The big fib says the 236. We are now on it now. That's where we bounced last night during the show, I believe. It actually started doing that. I did not enter there. I entered when she started coming up here. I was like, okay, this is a start. She got up a higher high here, and I took the next low, and then she come down, and I think I went to bed somewhere through here, and I'm like, all right, stop loss is down here. Let's just hope and see what goes on. And she bounced off of fib areas and then broke out and started looking good, right? Okay, so what was the problem that we had here? Well, from where we are up there, we got to the 0.5 Fibonacci from our last little high here, and we couldn't get there. We couldn't get past it, and that's what I was posting over into the Telegram group over here in Trade Setups. I won't go through all the stuff, but I was putting these ideas out there earlier. What I was looking at and looking for. And so that was cool. So we technically, I guess we nailed a bottom. We were looking for this area for something to happen. Something did happen, and it gave us a chance. But the fact that we didn't get on this little local 0.5 is a cause of concern. Now, right now, if we even still use this fib, we made a nice little retest of this area. Are you going to try? Are you going to try to go up there? Because I was starting to get a little bit bearish here. I got a different idea going on, but it's on the smaller time frame. Man, we can make some good arguments here. Normally, I'd be looking over here, and I would see that I got in my little bottom zone here, and I'll be along this little sucker. But to me, we lost to me, we lost some critical areas over here. So what I'm looking for right now, I'm actually entertaining this guy. I'm throwing this guy out to see how well this works. This is a bullish. It's actually a bullish pattern, a bullish bat, and it relies on Fibonacci. We get a 382 retracement here, which we did a higher high here. Right around where we did, and then she can come down anywhere between this 103,500 area, or all the way down here to about $103,000, and that would give us that would give us just a higher low from our one over here. Now, it doesn't look at the moment like she wants to do that. It looks like she wants to entertain that other idea. What I'm saying for that is pulling the fib here to here. Will she get past here? And I'm not thinking that she's going to get past her 0.5. Okay. So it might seem a little bearish when a lot of people might be flipping bullish, and I'd be looking at the moving averages right here and saying, yeah, they're crossing, they're trying to recover. Had an M. You could also look at this as an M top. A lot of people are looking at that, and then what you got going on is this neckline. So there is a good chance that we might not even make it past 104.3, that we're doing a bearish retest of this area. One of the reasons why I am so bearish right now and not trying to enter a juicy long or anything like that is because even here on the 1 minute time frames, we got a flipping going on of these moving averages. Not just the small ones, which happened over here. If you'd caught that over here when we start losing the 200 and they start flipping over the 200 over here, even better yet, we're doing a little Monday morning quarterback in here, but this is what I try to do when I'm actually live trading, and what I try to share with other people to do, because a lot of people don't talk about this. I had a mentor that talked about this, but it took me about a year to figure out what the hell he's doing. He didn't really explain it very well. I think sometimes he talked in code. I don't know. Was he afraid he was going to get in trouble? Trend line. Respect. No more respect. Time to leave. Especially if you got a lower high, that's one warning sign. It doesn't. I mean, she could have come right back and just did something else, but that's that's one of your first warning signs when you get those first lower highs that, ooh, I guess our trend might be over here. So we came up for a bearish retest, and that would have been another place, like if you didn't get out over here, and then start saying, oh man, I wish I got out over there. That's okay. You don't always get a nice, this was a pretty nice bearish retest, and you could have come back up and go, oh, we're back to where I could have got out before. Sale, short. These are great shorting ideas. And these would have done really well. Sometimes you got to kind of wait. Like if you try to, I'm going to start this one over here. You're like waiting and getting you're sweating bullets because you think you're going to get stopped out, or oh, I went below this. I want to, you got all these little. It's hard to short from the very, very tippy tops, but if you got a system something like this, you can catch those retests sometimes and get into a nice little short. So I'm looking basically for rejection out of Bitcoin, mostly right through here. Now I see these little moving averages kind of converging together and flipping in bearish, and give it a few more minutes and I think we'll finally get our flips in. Maybe we go to 104.5, maybe, but I seriously doubt that we get anywhere past it. We've also got some other trend lines here that, ooh, well, I guess we lost our fibs. There's a bigger idea, and we can just track him on down. He's going to be resistance, and you can see how price respects the angles from this bottom pivot point there. Pivot point. I'm going to call it a pivot point because I'm pivoting at the point. Just using that idea, you can see we're headed toward a little resistance already there. That's my take on it, but if it weren't for these moving averages here, I might be a little bit bullish, saying, hey man, we're trying to turn things around. But they're kind of giving me some forewarning, and they're worth kind of taking notice of. Now, if we come over, I want to just spend a few more minutes looking at Bitcoin and seeing things. Now we look at the 4-hour chart over here, the indicators and whatnot. Now, the 4 hour is kind of interesting because it does look like she is trying to flip bullish. Maybe we do catch down here soon. I don't know. We might come back and retest this little red line down here that we just left. Right now, it's above the 9 moving average on the 4. I'm feeling you almost made me feel silly for feeling a little kind of bearish here. Here on the 2 hour though, we got our red dot stochastics coming down, and this one is looking a little bit more bearish. Here on the 2 hour, we do have a rollover of that 9 after we got rejected over here at this area. So I'm curious, trying out a different play than what something I would normally be looking for, but and now I'm kind of like, well, is it going to work or not? Are you coming down, or this is not going to work? But it was for we know from the fibs, man, getting rejected here and getting rejected twice up there. That does suggest that we will come back and at least test some areas. Now, I would expect that we would at least come down and test these areas right here, which we look like we may have, or may come down and make it just a little bit more solid from this little W. And I'd say a lot of people are looking for that too. I'm just keeping my eyes open for the possibility of actually coming down here, maybe even rolling over. Remember, this was the 236 fib when we zoomed out, and how rare it is for it to catch. We were looking for, the sentiment was feeling like we could get to 130, 120, at least 115, 120 pretty soon after making our new all-time high. But we're not seeing that, right? And we're starting to see rollovers happening here and starting to see losses of momentum. But I'm not trying to be all bearish because our weekly, the MACD's just, she's recently flipped bullish here, and that's a big deal. It's just that, we're showing some signs of weakness here on the stochastics, at least. And on the VWAP is what we got here, what they call it. So I mean, ebb and flow, but it's our chances of blasting off and making a brand new all-time high are just a little bit more slim right now as we kind of go through a corrective phase that could take us back down to 100,000 or lower. It could, and we're just looking for the signs. Or, like I said, if we can actually consolidate here and not break below that 103 area, we might be getting ready for something. It might, we might consolidate here for a while, but it is rare for that area to hold. I'm just saying. Even here on the 1 hour, the bigger moving averages are starting. You're seeing them bow over. This move is tiring them out, and they're still bullish though. They're still bullish. I mean, we can do some stuff. We can still do some stuff. I think that that possibility might be that over this weekend, maybe between tonight and tomorrow, maybe they'll come back down and we do a double bottom here because we would. I know we got that double bottom, but they kind of make it a little bit more official. And then try to work on that. If this area is going to hold, I think it'll take more than just these two touches over here of that touch point. I think we'll have to come back down and touch it, and that's a perfect thing to happen. Being rejected over here is that we come down between this area, range a little bit or whatever, and then start working our way back up to our next area, and then slowly try to regain ground. We never did break above this little high over here. We didn't do it. So that puts us on the table for either range or roll over lower. That's our two options, in my personal opinion. And so what this does for altcoins is put us in a precarious situation, in my opinion. Oh, we put the fractal up. The fractal did go up. It did come down a little bit. Maybe that fractal will play. I kind of wish I hadn't put it on here now. All right, so I'm going to ditch. All right, we'll put it over here somewhere. So we were hoping we'd go up a little bit higher on this, but we didn't. That's a little concerning. I'm on the 1 hour for total 3. She came down, found some support over here, retested this area. Nice little place to catch it. When she broke the trend line, that was the bad move. That was the bad move. And we just kind of leveled off and double topped right up here, man. I know, people looking for them cup and handles with them dagger bottoms. That looks like a dingle dangle bathroom wall pattern if I ever seen one right there. But it did not help us make any higher highs of our altcoins. Instead, we got rejected again. This is our Woolly Booger pattern over here. You might recognize it from this chart over here. That's him there. And we've been looking for coming back and retesting this trend line area, and here we are. Hopefully that will hold. Looks like we don't trust it enough that we want to have to go down and talk to it one more time, and that's a little concerning. I hope that's all it's got in mind to do there. That also got rejected below our 236 area from the swing high. And we will take this leg here, measure it. Not much difference there. So that does set us up for a possibility to roll over. We could be looking at some of these areas if this doesn't hold as a double bottom. So starting to look a little skittish for altcoins. So that's when we need to zoom out and kind of see what the charts are telling us there. Should we be worried about altcoins? Can they catch here and we reclaim our ground? And I'm telling you, it's sketchy. Here on the daily, it's sketchy. We lost our 200 moving average again. If we saw this on any other smaller time frame, that looks like a possible rollover for us to come down further. It just does. I hope that we don't. I'm going to finagle this trend line and see if, nope, didn't help us out a dang bit. We just broke it. We just broke that sucker. We broke that some beach. And we lost our 382, so that does put this area on the radar. And possibly some lower areas, but we don't want to go below the shoulder or we invalidate this is what the hell then we'll be more tuned to come down here, I believe. The good things for us is that we did make a higher high from over here. So theoretically, we should be looking for a higher low. So would that be 810,000, or are we going to respect this 800 or this 100 moving average here? Overall, the moving averages, I mean, they tamed down, but they're still up and to the right for the most part. The big ones that matter, 200, those are still in good bullish order. It's just the 100, the 50, the 9, and the 21, the smaller ones, they're not bullish yet. They were at one point, but now they're not. Will they slip back? We got a chance on the daily. We tapped the 100. We're finding support on the 50. It might give us a push back up here to the 200 moving average area, the 21 moving average area. Excuse me. Wait, we had a sneeze fest over here. So that's what I get on the daily from that. But I gotta say, whew. You need to do something quick here, baby, because that momentum wave is still coming down. I know money flow is still technically in the green here on total 3, but we in a downward momentum wave. I like stochastics being buried there, but we can still come down while they stay buried. The money flow in the green should help us, but we got this going on here on the daily for total 3, and she's not getting any better. We ain't getting no lighter candles over here on the daily or nothing. She's just driving down. Altcoins are hurting. It makes me think a lot of it. It doesn't look like it from last time, but yeah, we don't want to see another downward trajectory or have another repeat of this. I mean, come on, man. Come on, altcoins. We got to start doing something here. And I just like to break out my old trend lines, and man, I mean, technically we can come back down and retest this trend line area. Not quite get as bad of a dip as we got on Liberation Day, it looks like, but we can still visit those areas. That would suck. I hope that that doesn't happen. I hope that we do get support here. So for me, even with this pull, we would need to see this little area hold. In my personal opinion, try not to go any lower than this guy. Can we write in that? I got invisible letters. How cool is that? Perhaps it's not big enough to show up there yet. Oh, there we go. So that needs to hold, and it looks like we got our first little leg down. We just got to make sure this one doesn't come down too. If this one holds, then, you know, why aren't we seeing it so far? Or maybe we're seeing our first sign of it. We lost our 9 here on the 4 hour. That's kind of concerning. Here on the 4 hour, trying to flip our ribbon, but we're still bearishly positioned here. I mean, I like to just trying to cross, but it has not yet crossed. Okay, we need to see some money. We need a Sunday pump is what we really need out of these altcoins. And I'm trying to figure out, can we get a Sunday pump? A Sunday pump would be oh man, you lost that one too. You suck, man. Come on, get your stuff together. Total 3, you can do it. Come on, you bounced off here. Let's go try to make something happen. But at least altcoins are coming up and not bleeding out as bad as they were on that little drop down. We're just getting a little taste back. Let me come back to the chat. Let's get on target here. Make sure I got the right chat out. Got DOZ, so spicy late night home noodles, says so. Diaz can't stand. I think I'm on the right chat, right? This might be the old chat. No, I think that was it. Sometimes I leave a chat box open. I got 25 people hanging out here. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Give you a round of applause. can't have a show without an audience. That's just common sense, and we're a nation of common sense now, is what I'm told. You just flipped from 95 to 105 Fahrenheit to 55 there today. Wow. AD says, I think the easiest trade now is to close the close at CME. That means up from here. Let's take a look at. What are you doing there? I just saw you flicker up. You did something. I just saw it flicker. I'm hallucinating over here. What are you doing over here? That total 3. Are you? No, don't do it. Don't drop right now. Don't be a violent dropping altcoins at the moment. Total 3. No, I'm on the 1 minute watching total 3. How sad is that? Looks like I lost a Larry rolling over. On the 1 minute. This is a tiny ass time frame. All right, so while I chat a little bit about things and whatnot and say hello and do the silly stuff around here, I'm going to put up my little request ticker into the chat box there, and then we can take a look at some altcoins you guys want to look at. I've got a little list of things to look at too. We'll see what we can figure out about this market. And in the meantime, I am going to come over here to the daily on CME futures. And they closed at 104 215. Right now we are at, well, they actually closed up here, but they wicked down to that level. They closed at 105. We're sitting at 104 right now. That's not a far cry from where we were there. But when we get back here and this chart resumes, I'm going to flip my regular candles on right now. We're still below that 9 moving average and still lost a trend line. So you can't deny. I mean, if you ever looked at Elliott Wave, you know, things can't go up all the time. There's got to be a correction. And in a nutshell, I think what most of us are looking for, you know, is is a type of ABC correction, you know, a little zigzag method. Now there can be lots of zigzags in between and lots of other stuff, but basically, you know, something like this. So I mean, it could give us a good chance to get some cheaper Bitcoin. That's the pros and cons of it. The cons of it is that how bad are altcoins going to suck in between. And that's where we got to come over to Bitcoin Dominance, who is been partying like an animal over here. Does not look like, I mean, she's making higher highs. Okay. So that lower low was just a fake out low, and then she went up and made a higher high. That sucks when they bust out of the little range on both sides. And look, it's like a flag to the upside, and it may do it because the moving averages look bullish AF to me on Bitcoin Dominance. This is on the 4 hour. Look at it on the daily here. I mean, that's just a nasty trick. I mean, this is a 618. Oh well, I'm a little off on that from that pool, or am I? Hell. So from our high to low, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, shoot. We got so many little lines here. So this is looking trade bullish. Now, this is a zone where we might get rejected. We need to hope for it, but I gotta tell you, man. To me, I mean, if we were just to draw a line over here, it looks like we just came down in this little channel line that we're in and just bounced off the bottom of it. And like we're going to the top or maybe higher. So this was a gift of altcoins, and then this is taken away at the gift, and there might be a little bit of that gift left right now in profits. Wow. I'm having to look at this, and then I'm also having to remember what we saw last night on some of these coins. Like, what was it? Was it XLM? Let's go somewhere that's got a good, well, Coinbase. So I find this concerning that with some of these altcoins, we're getting red dots here on the weekly. That does not look good to me. Look at this on the weekly, a rollover on the MACD. I mean, it went up and came down, but it's suggesting, man, we're going to start looking back at these lower areas, 16 cents maybe, and look at, are we going to come back and finally retest this breakout? And by the time we get there, is it going to be back at 10 cents again? That would suck. That would sucky suck. No good. I mean, no likey. So come down and look at something like, let me get rid of some of this stuff over here. And that looks like a fairly deep retrace right there. Looks like we came down and bounced off our 786. I would say it looks like we will probably retest that area. I mean, that's about 20 cents there for XLM. If that's of interest to anybody. I think we got a Gartley, which is it's a bullish pattern. So, but she's probably coming down for a type 2 retest. Now the moving averages look bullish over here, so I would be looking for a retest. It doesn't have to go all the way back to the bottom, but there's a good chance that it might come down here to about 22.8. Right in that area, and for what they call a type 2 return, where we come back, it could be a higher high, could come all the way back down for a double bottom, and then we should be starting to mark out these targets over here about 55 cents and 64 is kind of how these patterns kind of work. But it does suggest that we're going lower, and that's concerning for me because of the weekly. So what else is going to be doing then? How about you, virtuals? You're strong, or been strong, or you getting ready to do something? Do I need to get out of you? Wait here, Miss Target Roddy. I think I've already did our vanity wall thing on that one. Nailed it. Nailed it. I would erase that, wouldn't I? So now it looks like we're coming back to at least retest this area at 158. That was our 236 fib. This is the point in the game where I pull out our new fibs. And then I start looking also our 0.5 fib, which would be a deeper retracement, would be in line here. And for an ABC correction, I believe that would be in order for us. I'm actually getting just a wee bit lower right down here, so I'm going to mark it since I got it twice. So it looks like virtuals could be on a slow move down, a possible slow move down to about 150. Let me how do you look on the weekly, virtuals? Now see, in contrast to XLM, virtuals actually looks like it's got some fairly decent momentum. I mean, it's kind of losing some steam, but it's in much better shape for going up, or for at least holding these areas. But she does look like she want to be coming down here. Is that going to happen? Are we going to roll over? So how do we know when we're rolling over? We got these bands, or all these moving averages, and they start spreading out over time, right? They start getting away from each other, as they say. They start spreading out like a little Chinese fan. and then they peak, and hopefully we see them keep spreading. But now you see that they're starting to narrow together. That's the signs that they're consolidating. We're starting to consolidate, and when they get really close together, then we're in danger of them flipping, starting to roll over on each other. And that's kind of what we saw happen with Bitcoin on that smaller time frame. And this is what it looks like at the first stages. So if we lose a trend line area, we haven't made a higher low yet, but with that higher low or that lower low, we haven't made a lower low yet. So we're still kind of hoping maybe we can catch here. And, you know, if we were to get bullish and just start taking off, if that were to happen, these could straighten out and just go around their merry way. But once they start crossing, when they all cross over this 200 is what I go by. That white one comes over there, and then I'm starting to look. Yeah, we're trying to work on it and flip the whole thing. If that happens, then 155 is that's just the start. Elliot, do you have anything on this one? Yeah, Elliot can see us coming down to 87 cents. That's why we don't invite you to dinner, Elliot. I'm just saying. But that's an idea. So Elliot thinks we might be going through an ABC correction, and a B should be bring us up for the retest. We haven't got that yet. I want to keep that in mind, because if we do start going up and get up to 220, I will probably be taking some profits on these guys again, and I don't want to buy any down here anymore. So make sure we don't have any open orders over there on my virtuals trade here. Don't like seeing me portfolios go down. So we don't give a dang about any of those targets anymore. We're going short. Or we're at least not. We're at least not accumulating. Until we finally find out where our possible new bottom might be. So far, she's not violated the laws, right? She's not broke the lower lows, but she has violated breaking that trend line. And maybe she just rides the leg up underneath it and then does something else. But she should be coming down for virtuals. A little bit. Tau. Look at you, man. That was crazy. We still got you on now, Elliot. I didn't pull your chain. What'd you say anyway? I'm curious. 3, 4, 5. And thinks that was the 5th wave there. Now we're already working on an ABC correction from that. What the hell, Elliot? What kind of weirdness is that? That's goofy. All right, so Tau had a nice little run up and gave it all back. You went to $500 there. Is that why that bag is not hurting anymore over here? Is that why that one's looking so funky that we take profits up there? Must have. Well, good for you, Tau. You did something good. Are you going back up there is what I'm kind of wondering about. I'm going to clear all this. Well, not all this. I'm just getting all this stuff out. We got a red line. I forgot what the red line is. It's some kind of 236 variation or 272 variation. So we found some support here at the moving averages, which have mostly flipped bullish. I mean, Lucy's still above 800. That's actually pretty good. But the 360s went bearish. 200s went bearish. There's some things trying to happen, but we still got some key areas right down here, about 324 key moving averages that are still a little too low. It looked like we got our 3 humps, and then we were working on our dump. Now, I would read this as this being a 5-way, an A, B, C. Elliot sees something totally different. Okay, well, yeah, that could work. Could could work. Okay, so we got a secondary trend line here. She was starting to curve over and roll over, but then she decided to do something kind of crazy this weekend. I ain't gonna bitch about it. I don't think it's got quite enough to hold it there, but let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go to the daily. Daily's got the old green dot going on. Daily seems to think this one might have some legs to keep that momentum going. 3-day, what do you look like? 3-day was trying to roll up. Weekly, what do you look like? You don't have one of them red dots there, do you? No. You got red money flow, though. I see some tiring here. Don't know if it's strong enough to keep us down, though. So I don't have a good place to put another trend. Well, not really. Can get something on the smaller time frames. I guess we'll take that into account now. So we'll take this little guy, and now we got this idea. Now we just have 2 freaking touches. Don't even have a good channel idea going on. We do have this idea that seems to have a little ground. So I would imagine it would take a while to see 530 or 630, but it was no problem to see 500 and come all the way back down to 400. To me, though, we're back beneath whatever trend line that we made right here. So let's take a look at this in the other direction and see what we're working on. I don't have a good starting point over there for that. Other than maybe that little, you know, we gotta squint our eyes and start guessing and making up excuses at this point. It's not worth it. But I will just connect those 2 guys. Now, this is an interesting little guy right here. This one actually has a 64% chance to continue to the upside, break out and continue the upside. So, curious about that, but I'm cautioned on the rollover possibility of these bands here. If that was a rejection, well, clearly it was, we came all the way back down. We may continue a little bit. I'm curious. Would like to see you hold some ground here. Have you flipped? You flipped. Well, let's pull out our old fibbies here and see what you're telling us. Where'd you come back to? All right. Let's see if we can hold 417 for Tau. If it holds that area, it may be working on something. That's kind of sketchy. I'd like to see if that'd work. It looks like we broke a trend line, but let's see what happens. See what happens here. If not, then do you see how we got a lower low, then we came up and got a higher high, and then we came right back in the middle, right? I don't trust that. That's a flush out on both sides there. So the pattern suggests that there's a chance, roughly about 64% chance, that this little guy could break up and continue to the upside. Moving averages are not looking as happy. And again, that is a local pattern. Now, this is our bigger pattern, and that definitely suggests that, yeah, we could, if we're actually bouncing from here, we could get some going-ons here. So, I'm so curious to see what this one's going to do now, because the 4 hour looks like it could pull it off to me. Well, that would be wonderful. Let me come back to the chat, see what you guys are talking about. What are you guys talking about? We've been going for almost an hour, and we already got to altcoins. Well, that's an improvement. Let's get a round of applause here. Actually, getting some coinage out of the way here. All right. Oh man, I'm getting a little sleepy here myself. Oh shoot.
For those of you out there that hit that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Heard him creeping around the corner the first time. Don't usually catch him. Joe says, I made a new song about these mentors and their acronyms, making acronyms for stuff that we know from all the basics, but they make it sound new. Examples, SFP is just a wick, buying, selling pressure. It is. That's what I noticed too. Like, it's all these new systems and everything. I'm like, isn't that what that's what the OGs were doing. They just called it something different back there. Maybe you tweaked, oh, you got new technology to do it. Okay, maybe that's it. You know, but a lot of it is just regurgitated. I mean, these markets are the same as they've always been. The only thing that's changed is the technology behind them. You know, high frequency trading, computers, and things like that make things a lot faster. At least we don't have to sit out here and draw with the, you know, and get out the slide rule and our protractors and all that and start marking out and doing our own charts every day. That's what they used to have to do back in the day, back in Gann's day and everything. I mean, they had the ticker tape, and there wasn't no trading view back there, drawing trend lines and all that. It took some skill for this stuff. Dang. Technology has made it a lot easier. There's a lot of this stuff I would not be able to pull off if I had to do it by hand. I mean, you know, do you have a fib tool? Huh? How would you do that on a paper chart? That would be, they got special tools for that though. They do. I want one of them. It's really cool. You can find the ratios and whatever you're measuring. It's really cool. It's forgot what it's called, but I want one. Oh man. All right, well, let's take a look at this little guy. This is Altcoin. And Altcoin is testing the 360 moving average here on the 4 hour. Will she hold or will she blow? Man. So I grab my indicators over here and start wondering myself. They look like they're trying to do some rolloverage in here. Money flow is deep in the red there. It's best to zoom out and see where we've been and where we might be going. We got the fuzzy woolly booger who has not had a retest of any of his fuzzy little areas, which I think is really right down here. I bet if we pull us a big old Fibonacci from the lows to the highs. Let's get rid of our vanity targets there. Get rid of some of these older targets we don't need anymore. That's close to a 786 to retest that. It never did retest it, and they do retest quite a bit. All right, so Altcoin. Let me do some quick measurements here, if you don't mind. 886 retracement. That's deep. Altcoin got down to like 30 cents or something like that, right? 20 cents. Got down to 20 cents. And went up to $1.60. My friends, that's a pretty good come up. I didn't get in at 20 cents. I wish I did. I got in somewhere around that 68, 70 cent area, right through there, I believe, for most of it. Maybe when she went up to 60 or something. No. That was 700% gains from that area. And I mean, $100 could have turned into $700. You would have to not sell at every red candle, because that's a thing. First red candle, oh look, I got out. Look where I got out, yeah. And you'd have to have a plan, but the possibilities were there. It looks so enticing when we do that. Look, that was 700% gains. If you'd been in our group, I could have made 700% gains. Probably not in reality. I mean, it sounds really good, but I mean, you got to figure out when you get in, when you get the balls to go in and actually make the move. And if you're going to be scared to get out too soon, well, I'm going to get out the first flag, or I'm going to just ride the flags up. I don't know, do that, but you know, the ones that go against you or whatever, you make mistakes, blah blah blah. You know, there's a lot of things you can screw up trades if you have not. I'm sure you've noticed. I'm sure we all notice that's part of what we do in learning. We add to a trade and screw up our entry, then we get stopped out, and then we're like, oh, it didn't make nothing. If I left it alone, I could have made $20. Now it didn't make nothing. I think I owe it the money. We can get to do stuff like that. Happens a lot too. Hopefully not a lot. Hope we make rules to not fall into those situations again. But there's all these things. Man, and I was going over some of my DeFi stuff today that I haven't looked at for over a year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. I can't remember when it was. But I go look and I see where I had a pair set on DeFi, and well, it's not there anymore. I mean, it's just not there. And I had staking validators that I went to for some staking on some things, and I got to claim some rewards, but I staked is nowhere to be found. It shows it, but there's no staking. The validator ditched or whatever. So there's always these little things that go on that you hope don't happen and don't expect to happen, but they happen. Your exchange tells you that you got to get off because they got to do KYC and choke point 2.0, and you got to close all your positions at the worst possible time and start trying to exit, pay expensive gas fees on Ethereum or something to move some tokens. It's just, you know, there's always these unexpected things that happen in this market. It's not all just it's definitely not all fun and games. And there's definitely risk that we take a lot, and a lot of times it catches up with us. Yes, put your money here, get these great returns, and you think it's okay, you leave it, and you go back. Where is it? Oh, well that exchange went down. That one's no longer valid, or whatever. You know, something's going on. You're supposed to be DeFi, man. What the hell? So Altcoin, are we coming back down to 96 or lower? Could that happen? We got rejected here basically at the 0.5. We went a little bit above it, but lost it. That's a little concerning. So one area I would be looking for is to definitely retest this. That's where we left off from. That's our 236 going up. It is different from our 236 coming down, which we would look for support. So we're at a 236 trying to catch, but we lost our 50 moving average. Doesn't look like it's going to hold. Our hope is that we catch right down here. Yeah, pretty much at the bottom of the trend line, 0.5 Fibonacci. That's our hope, that we'll catch there. If we do not catch there, then we break trend line, and then, well, that means we get the punishments, and I would say we'll probably get a nice deep retracement here into the 886 even, or 786 area. I hope you guys could, I hope the reason I when I go over fibs and things like that, I try to explain the thought process behind it so that as you learn, or if you're trying to learn fibs, that maybe you can take something away that you can apply. And that's why I talk about these things the way that I do. I find it interesting. Sometimes I'll see, I see a few other people come out and it's like after retrospect or something. I don't know how do I say this? How do I describe this? They'll just pull a fib out of somewhere. You can't even tell where they're pulling it from, and then they'll say, "Well, look, this was a 786, or blah blah blah," and it bounced off of that area. I think they'll do something crazy. Like this, and then it's like they pull a fib to an area to where that they can say, "Yeah, I told you it's going to bounce off the." I see some wild stuff out here. I mean, you can use the fibs beforehand to tell you some ideas where price can kind of go, but I see some of them. I think they do it just to play with the fib on YouTube. This is not a good chart like where they would use it for, though. It's usually always after the fact too, after something's already took off and something, and it's like, yeah, you should have known right there. Like in retro, oh really? Well, why didn't you tell us that ahead of time? Well, why wasn't there a line there saying, hey, I'm waiting to see if this price is? No, it's just after the fact there. Where the hell am I at? I'm on market cap at dominance on USDC. I don't know how I got there. Taking a look at Bitcoin over here. What are you doing, Bitcoin? Are you getting bullish on me now? Are you going to double? Don't. You're going to mess me or piss me off is what you're going to do. My instinct wants long. I really do. To long off of a 618 W pattern on the 618. My little asses, I want to take that. I do. I just don't like this. And I'm having to look at the bigger picture. Okay, it looks good on the smaller time frames, but where's that going to give me? Well, possibly right up here. So there's a move there. And actually, I think that's going to play.
Sun climbs high, the breeze is sweet. Digital waves crash at our feet. Tokens sway, they catch the light. Ride the tide into the night. Baila conmigo, oh dance with me.
Here I am on the 1 minute. I don't have as much faith in on this one. I really don't. I see the ribbon flipping here on the 1 minute. That's a nice, that's enticing though. That's really enticing. You get a higher low here on the bounce off of it, a double bottom basically trying to form a possible double bottom. It's not confirmed until we get above here. While these moving averages are just now flipped bearish right now. Kind of like when they do that, we lose ground. But right now she wants to go boogie. So she says. Alright, so we took a look at, we haven't taken a look at Near. Good old Near. What the hell is all this? Somebody messed up my chart. Mucked it all up. Oh, we got some stuff going on there. Okay, I got too much stuff going on. We already did all that. Gosh darn it, man. Don't it look like you're taking another leg down? I'm trying to give it all the wiggle room that I can give it here, and I can't give it any more, man. I got 3 touches here. You need to hold. Can you hold 2-hour moving average? I mean, they're still okay. We're below it. That sucks. I'm blaming on Lucy, the little red line right there. I hope we don't come back down here. But she looks tired. She looks like she's wanting, she could do it. Stochastics are up here just ready to slam us down with that red dot that printed on the 2-hour. Doesn't give me much hope that this is going to hold too much according to that one. Meanwhile, the 15-minute is giving us a green dot and a buy signal. I can see how this could be very confusing for people. Thank God for trend lines. Tell me we broke it. break back into it, maybe we'll get a bullish pump up, or we could just be, this is a bearish formation that would take us to the downside more. Could be a bear flag. What is not, or I would never call it, is a shoulder, head and shoulder to the downside, because that's a top reversal pattern. You might get some results out of something. That's not where we look for them. It shows me that, you know, when I see people do stuff like that, it shows me that they really didn't. They just, I mean, you learn from watching people, don't get me right, but you need to validate that what they're telling you is actually accurate. And so you need some other sources to go with. And that's why I point people toward Thomas Bukowski, the patternstock.com, or even Investopedia somewhere, even books on trading. Because some of the things that you're told are just not true. There's just regurgitated information or misinterpretations. But you know, when it comes to pattern trading, there's logic to it, and there's top patterns and bottom patterns, and you don't get the same results when you apply them in the wrong places. Maybe a few times something works out, something sort of, you say, oh, it works every time. I don't know. That's what's one of my little. It's a little. Maybe it's a little pet peeve of mine. Just something I noticed with some YouTube pattern trader people. Then sometimes if they apply them and force them and use them in ways that that there's better ways. We can still do some of those things, but if you zoom out, you can probably see something a little different that give you some more insight. And you ever guess what somebody's TA is going to be? Just throwing a flag. Yeah, it doesn't take very much an imagination to envision what they might say. They'll just put it in a flag. Well, yeah, just put it in a flag. Look right there. It's a flag to the upside. I mean, or is it an M pattern that might be sending us down to someplace lower? The thing is, with doing all of that, I mean, it's always changing. It's always changing. And they will mature. Things will mature because, well, the reverse plan did not work out. So it's turning into something else. Instead of being a cup and handle to the upside or a symmetrical triangle, I've seen play out many, many times. I used to hate these, man. Because this is what would happen to me when I'd play them. I used to see these in the trading group back in the day. They post 20 setups a day of some coin that's going to rock and roll. And, you know, somebody would post one over, it looked just like this. And you get something crazy. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Well, the next target's up here. And you're like, really? Okay. And then this happens. It can. It doesn't always happen, but the most important thing was this trend line, I thought, and it breaking. It's the first signs, hey man, something's happening. Even if you can go over and cheat and include this one over here, when it broke, but it started showing some signs earlier. Popcat, man, are you going to stop bleeding anytime soon, or are you going to keep on falling? You're testing our 236 fib area. That was when we measured on the way up, and so was this from a bigger pool. They made great places, but I'm hoping that you will find some support here at it and not go below. I believe I already pulled the fibs, and so she almost came to a 618. Hopefully we'll come down here. I mean, if we can't bounce from where we are, and at least try to bounce from a 618. I'm afraid, though, we might be pointing toward a possibility to come down here and test this guy at the bottom of this channel that we broke out of. So I'd be looking at the price that we broke out at 28 cents, but I mean, 22 could be on the table. This could be a deeper retracement, man. There's a 382 that we came to, and we made a lower high there. And that could give us 22 and technically even 17. I do like the moving averages where they flipped, so we got that. So maybe it won't be too bad. Right now we can take this and pretend that we got a trend line with 2 touches. And hope for the best as we made a lower low with a lower high and a lower low. That suggests a downward trend. That suggests that we come up and retest these areas. It may not even make it up to 43 cents, but if we might be coming up there, and then we could be rolling over down to these areas. So that's the concern that we might have, that we might be doing something like that. Now look at the solder, head and shoulder. Oh my God, it's all dead. Popcat is dead. This may be what we're going through in the summer on some of these coins. Maybe Popcat, what are you looking like over here on the weekly? I forgot to check some of these. Is that money flow in the red on the weekly? Okay, so this is the first bar here of gray on the weekly. That's usually a good sign to, you know, make sure that you've taken some profits at some point, in case she wants to continue rolling over like she does on the 3-day. That's concerning. Folks, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope something changes in this market soon. But man, I feel really bearish for these altcoins, man. And we should be a little happy. This is total. That's Bitcoin and altcoins. This is total, or well, this is total too. I think this is just altcoins minus or with Ethereum, I think. I forgot. No, this is without Bitcoin. This, yeah. And the weekly stochastics look a little concerning there. Money flow being in the red on the weekly. I'm not excited about that at all. I mean, the MACD is the best thing we got going for us. But ooh. And then of course we got total 3 here. Looking a lot the same. The altcoins are looking a little weak right now. So one thing's for dang sure, when the altcoins give you a profit, it's good to take it. Here on the 2 hour, it looks like they're trying to drive us down on the altcoins a little bit more here. The next hours might be pretty interesting for a little retest, though. Should start seeing them come up a little bit here on the hour. Look at you, Swee. 326. QNT's holding at 109. Go figure that out. Uniswap look like she's dropping a little bit today, which is 617. She took a little bit of a hit. So for the hour, most things, the day has not been that bad. Those are still in some profit, just not as much as what they were before. What's popping over here on this one? On the degen sides over here. Mubarak, Moonpig, go Moonpig! You're at 4.6 and you're at 4 now. We're at 8 cents, lost half of it. Here's one called Collat. That one's starting to get some ground. Looks like she's already popped off there. Let me come to the chat and we'll take a look at your altcoins. Let me go up into my little, here we are. 26 people hanging out with me. We'll start getting into these guys right here. We got Solus. Sir James, morning road dog. Love to see an XRP update. Let's see, we got KNC, SOLV, spell, TLM. Do you like trend lines on MACD? I've drawn them on there before. Especially RSI, similar to the chart, right? So I'm out of context here. I can't really answer that. I've always heard that if we hit a 0.5 pib, it's technically called a reversal of the trend. Is that correct? I mean, you might have that as a rule of thumb to follow. I can't say that that's true all the times. I know a lot of times with your impulse move, they usually do retrace at least to a 0.5. Sometimes you get a 0.6 at some point in the market, you or a 615 or 618. A lot of times you'll get a pullback to there. It's kind of common when the market's just kind of neutral. Happens a lot. As things start getting bullish, or start getting traction in one way or the other, you will start seeing the 0.5s hold a little bit more, like when we're starting to get on a run, whether it's up or down. And so that is one of the points that I look for. Like if we can't get above a 0.5, it puts me on, like if I draw a fib from top to bottom here and see that we can't get past that 0.5, it puts me on notice that these guys down here, they're on the table. May not do it, may just come back and retest some of these areas, but a 618, I would look for more testing some of these areas. I'd pull another fib and start looking at some areas that are above the low here. But when we bounce off it, when we don't make it past a 0.5, I still do that. I still want to pay attention to these areas, even on my new fib pull or whatever. So if that's our top. So pulling our new fib to find support areas and see we're at a 0.5. So we lost that 5. But thank you for the super chat. I'll get to that in just a second. Thank you very much for it. I appreciate it. But we pull our new fib from low to high. And those 0.5s, they can be tricky, man. They can be tricky because they can go lower. They can actually come down as low as this guy. I mean, they could turn into something nasty. So I've started paying more attention to them and paying a little bit more attention to what they actually do. But I mean, they can come down to 2.236 on the extensions, even a 2. Now, granted, I'm doing this wrong, aren't I? Yeah, I don't have you set up for that. And that would be for the upside. The one for the downside would be this. Yeah, that would suck to come and meet this target all the way down here. And technically, I mean, it could be on the table. What would that look like? That's crazy. I'm not gonna. So this is total 3. Oh, geez. I don't want to do this. Let's get a regular fibs out on total 3. Does it correspond to anything? Right around the 618 area for a deeper retracement. But that was taking it off of just what we had there. Doesn't have to, but what I'm we had to zoom out to see that, by the way.
I saw your face on a digital screen. A world of
Anyway, it does suggest that this could be on the table, that we could come lower. I hope we don't. I hope we find support here and that we bounce it with a lower high. But I've got to pay attention to some of that stuff when we don't quite make it up certain areas. And from this impulse down to where we are right now, we couldn't even make it up to 382, and we came back below this 236 area. So we're back into the what would we say, discount zone. It's a juicy place to look for a long down here. If we get down closer to here. She's tried to come back up and retest it with that trend line. I don't see her, being successful at it. I wish her all the luck in the world, but I would think after breaking that trend line that we might have a chance to, come down here and at least halfway somewhere. Or maybe we're just extending this out. That I don't like that idea. It's still resistance. Maybe it's a fake out. It gets back into it. I don't know. Usually what I would suspect is that we might kind of ride up underneath it and then maybe sometimes do a double top when that happens. And we're on total 3. We need to start getting to some altcoins like Solace, like shoelace, but not. I don't see it. I see Solice. Is that it? I don't think this is it. Perhaps we need to go over here to Deck Screener. Willing to bet it's probably a Solana coin. There it is. It's virtual. It's a base thing. Well, look at that. Okay. So on Uniswap, this is the 1 hour. That looks interesting. I like the roundiness. I like the possible bottom pattern that's forming there. I'm not crazy about the neckline, but according to the neckline, it's already broken out. So whether you look at this as, can we get you up here? It's pretty nice. Candle bodies. Take it down here and you got a channel. So either you look at it as a inverted head and shoulders. Looks like there's another one down here at the bottom too. Just made a bigger one. Sometimes you can see that happen. Or as a channel, you get the same idea. You're taking the width of the channel or of the head and you put it to the breakout. Well, we would put it to the breakout and suggest that we come up here to 3.6 cents. And that's pretty nifty. Got a clear candle over this trend line we got here. So, that's for anyone trading the 1 hour chart, there's your trigger. And it can go up another 23 cents to that target. That's also the 382 fib area, so that's juicy. We got our 618. A lot of people will be looking to short there. I don't know if she'll make it up there in her first go. She might get rejected at the 0.5 before she gets up there, but that'd be a good target to look for. Where are the price labels? They're here, right? So you got 4.7, 4.2 even in there. And probably the first target is going to be about 3.7 cents right in that area. From here to there's 25. Next target would be 42%. 618 would be right at 60% gains from just buying the breakout idea. Whether it's a channel or inverted head and shoulders or whatever, she's trying to get there. Could wait till she gets past the 236 area there at 30 cents. Then you're cutting into your profits. Take a look at XRP. Here on Binance. That was looking like a $2.04 area. I remember saying that. And she dipped down. She got to 207. That may have took care of that. Looks like we're holding back at this 0.5 Fibonacci area right there. Should be a 0.5. I noticed I got some colors that are overlapping. I'm gonna have to work on that. She did not make a lower low than here, so if that holds, let's go down to a smaller time frame. Looks like we got a good chance to come back and retest that 230. Let's see, we're on the 4 hour. And if you see what's happened over here on the 4 hour, let me just take you through this. When we had our big run ups and everything, we got all our moving averages. They were in perfect order, and then they started getting together and started crossing. They have flipped. They have totally flipped. The bigger ones have. And so we're coming upon the last little remnant here of support. To me, this, for whatever reason, it's looking bearish. XLM had a bearish weekly thing on it. Market Cipher. Do you have one here on XRP? Yeah. That's concerning to me that the weekly is pretty bearish, and our MACD also. Look, she was lightening up here, and now she flipped red. So it is starting to look like there might be some. Well, golly. That's so wild. Because you're still above the 9. Still above the 9 on the weekly. Moving averages don't look that bad, but they do suggest that maybe we come back down to 160. So I would consider that bearish, considering we're above $2 if that were to happen. So wow, let's try to figure this out. Are we getting ready to roll the freak over on XRP again? She is not looking to. It makes me want to de-risk if we come up to 230, to be honest with you. So we got Sunday coming in, then we got Monday, which I think, I just wonder what that's going to be like. Altcoins have just got me. They got me second guessing a lot of them, but it's a mixed bag. Some of them are bearish on the weekly, and some of them are fairly bullish. Like Virtuals looks okay, XRP does not, XLM does not. Let me look at another boomer coin here. This is, well, that's Litecoin. I'm on futures with that. Litecoin here on the weekly. Flirting with a rollover. Did you lose trend lines too, Litecoin? How are you at, Litecoin? You at $80-something again? Let's see, we got a measure move that takes us down to $72. And it could be part of a big ass correction here. Elliot, you got anything to shed on this? Oh, Elliot thinks we got a 4-way. We'll be coming back up to 108. Hope you're right, Elliot. Also thinks we're in the middle of an ABC correction here from this other orange nonsense we got going on. Well, I hope you're right. I hope it goes back up. It looks to me like we're coming up for a bearish retest in this area, about $98. Or rolling over, coming to 72. Could be coming up there before we roll over. If we roll over, I'm just saying. They were trying to flip, but we got rejected. Now they're not. Now they're in limbo. And still with these big ass bearish, bigger moving averages there. Let's take a look at KNC. Not looked at this one for a while. Oh, you went down. Oh, we gotta zoom way out. This has got some choppy price action. So I'm on the 3-day chart. This was April 2022. It hasn't really done very much but roll over. Even rounding here. Not at new lows that it's ever had, but lower than what it's been in the past few years. And that's what sucks about these altcoins. We're seeing them. I mean, they are at some juicy prices. If you know that they'll ever bounce back and stuff. Oh, that's going to be a tricky trend line to draw. I'm going to look at that one because we clearly lost that. What we need to hope for is a bear trap of sorts, and I don't know if she's going to keep on going down. Wait a minute, this is KNC? Is this saying, is this hundreds of dollars? I think I was thinking of in-case new kind of network. KNC, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is against the Korean won. Wait a minute. Oh, we're all KNC. Here we go. Mexi's got you. KuCoin's got you on spot. Kyber network. Okay, that's what Kyber. All right, well, still. Oh, well, lower lows than she's ever had. Ever before. If you put $100, if you put $1,000 into this at the bottom, nailed the bottom back in December 2022, and you did not take profits, you would be pissed. She only got up to $1.21.
Make it real, or I'm lost in the fade. Give me search. Make it real, or I'm lost in the fade. Man, it's a hot one. Like pesos climbing on a quick burn, son. Runs deep, but your tea's so sweet. My token Raina, my blockchain Mona Lisa. That lift in your glow, you're pulling me into Ariba, and it's just like the coin under the flame.
Well, let's hope that we've got a bottom in here, and it may be coming back to retest it. I did get a hit from over here. And so we need to see, I don't know if she's going to retest 26 cents, but we need to make it past 42 cents. That's a nice little range. We can get 100% range like that. So a higher low would be cool. That's the first thing I'd look for, is a bounce off this 786, 886 area here. But it could be coming down for a complete double bottom. We could have something like that going on. Let me see. Do we got anything saying? You gave me a 0.5, that freaking figure.
It's the heat of the climate I feel in you.
We're going to put this guy on the table. I don't think this one will get hit. I know we'll hope not. We'll hope not. So right here in this area, about 29 cents. Hopefully we'll catch some traction there, make a higher low. It did make a higher high over here, so I'm looking for a higher low one that could be that deep. And eventually, hopefully, break out this range above 42 cents there. SOLV, tether us, tether. So I guess it's a nice range. It may be trying to make a bottoming pattern here. You know, what we saw in the other one, like an inverted head and shoulder. It might be trying to. We don't know. I'm not one of those and saying, well, this is what it's doing. Look for this. I mean, look for it, but you know, it can be doing. It can also be coming down. It can be doing lots of things. I'm going to go from bodies to wicks down here, because this is going to skew everything. We go from that wick. That was nice, that 5.3 cent area. She can't seem to get past her 236. Here we go. Well, if we can get a bounce over here, and it looks like we already started to. I think that makes a nice target at 5.8 cents. I'm on the 3-day, that's why it looks so weird. Come down to, let's go to the 4-hour. So what gets wicked can get candlesticked, and that might develop that little pattern. So she might be coming down a little bit more. You've already got that. You already got the 886. So hopefully she'll just come back and maybe tap that 618. So I'd look for that possibility. It might be maybe coming back to 3.2 cents there. Kind of rounding over a little bit. That would be right in the area to make a nice little right shoulder if that's what we're trying to do. Take a look at Spell. Oh, this one could be interesting if you set limit orders and just leave them there for months at a time. That's a janky trend line. And it looks like we may be flirting with a loser. It's a fuzzy trend line. So we just need to hope that all this holds. I'm wondering what kind of effect that it will have with this 360 trying to cross over that 600. That's not going to be very conductive or bullish, but we do have the 200 way up here. That is bullish. That gives us hope that we can go talk to it at some point. I see no target worth taking until we can get up to 0.0008. But where we are to there, if we ever get back up there, it's 58% gains. Last time we were there happened to be, about 2.5 months ago. Hard to believe March was 2 months ago. Now we're already in June. And one thing that we did not do is look at the monthly candle close on Bitcoin. So might want to come over here and do that real quick. Come over to the regular candles. Oh geez, what we got going on over here? Oh, here's one that we can read. Okay. So this was our monthly candle, and we had our highest monthly candle close ever. And so that's 104, about 104.6 area right there. Wicked all the way up to 111. And then now we're starting with the little red candle. It's red so far. It could turn green. And there's an idea, are we going to have 3 green candles in the row? We're going to start here and then get and go up. I would love to see that, but it's not happening tonight. We're above the 9 moving average on the monthly. That's good. This was a nice candle. That was a nice little strong come up. We shouldn't fade that. And we're starting out a little red, but it doesn't mean that we're going to end the month of red. I would hope for a green candle, but I'm not seeing the signs that we're getting ready to retest those all-time highs. Yeah, but if we started going back up toward 110, then that would start looking like really nice. Really nice. Our MACD is showing a little sign of tiredness here, but still chugging along. Our RSI is a little lower, so if we are going up in price and we're going down in RSI, we got some bearish divergence there. Need to note that on the monthly. So that's signs of tiredness. We had some bearish divergence here, so that would be, what were you? You were level. So that's 2 instances of bearish divergence there. I look for triple bearish divergence on a big strong uptrend. We're knocking 2 out of the way. So I'm listening to you, but I'm thinking there might be a possibility one more good up in this, good shot up before, and print out another bearish divergence. Is what I'd like to see happen there. We flip over on the monthly to my Hakanashi candles, and that don't look like they closed yet, have they? Oh yeah, they have. Okay. They will start in the middle of the candle, always. It looks like it's got some more momentum to the other side. I hope it does. I do want to point out this. While XRP might have a red dot on the weekly, Bitcoin has got a green dot here on the monthly. Let's go back to our regular candles. Are you still there on the regular candles? Not there on the regular candles. Regular candles printed it a couple of months ago. I found that interesting, back in May, when we got this candle. And now, when I turn my candles on the Hakanashi, we're just now getting it printed. Are they going to fake us out? Might we respect this 236 Fibonacci area that we're finding some support on right now? It makes me question that. We're at 104. Where were you just at 103? Are you getting bullish on me, Bitcoin? On that smaller ass time frame, are you going up on me? Look at you. Are you trying to go through my resistance area doing the W thing? So it looks like my little idea, at least. Where did you go? You were this guy. So I'm looking at this guy as a possibility. All the times I want to long this. I want to long this. I think I did. Nobody's looking. Yes, I'm lowered. I did. It got me 1,000 contracts on that. And I'm in a whole 2% profit. From getting in right over here. That's all I got is I'm on a 10x, 1,000 contracts, and I made 2,200 Satoshis on this little move. Doesn't look like I'm on the 1 minute. I don't have faith that it will continue much more, so I'm putting my stop loss in profit.
Together we'll win, we'll tip. Scales in our favor, we'll thrive. In the crypto world, we'll survive.
All right. Well, maybe we can make up some stop loss money because stop loss has been adding up a little bit lately. It's been choppy. Very, very choppy. Difficult market to trade. Difficult market to know when to get in. And I still got this bearish pattern idea that I'm looking at. I'm still looking at that idea. It doesn't have to go within the range of the thing. It can just roll over right here and come on down and make this pattern happen. So I got that idea still playing out too. I'm also looking, depending on what she does over here on these smaller time frames, maybe looking for a short idea soon. I know it sounds crazy after we got a W, but then of course, well, what is this? That's not real. We got this now. Okay. Got anything over here? Maybe? Little Yankee, little janky. So we were talking about Bitcoin, what they might do. They're running this down Friday, and they look like they came to a stop in place and might start running us up. It started looking like they might start taking us back up here to 108, 109. Maybe, you know, this might even be the one where we start coming back to retest these highs, these two highs that we had. They could do that tomorrow. Looks starting to look like they may have that in mind. Tomorrow may be a bullish Sunday, and then of course we got to deal with Monday when it comes over. Right now here at the bottom, and I think there might be a long play here, regardless of the little bearish pattern that I got going on. If we do get a breakout, and if we do clear this 236 fib area here, 104, right at 105, we can get above 105 and hold it. We're making some grounds here, but I'm still cautious on all these moving averages I'm seeing on all the time frames where they're crossing. They're crossing bearishly. They're trying to roll over. So it's making me not have a lot of faith that we can go up too high before catching another leg down. Got to remember, we did break a channel, did break a couple of trend lines here. So we don't get caught up in too much bullishness because we can come up and roll over and still come down. We're not ready to rock and roll just yet, in my opinion. Although I still want to mention, keep bringing this up with Bitcoin. Weekly MACD, I mean, is good. It's not like she's ready to roll over and say it's the top, baby. It's the top. We're not at roll over at the tops. We've been there before, and she did really good at getting them. Okay, we're not doing that just yet. So we got that, and it's a confusing cocktail of TA to deal with. We're bullish long term and weekly, but we could be going through a freaking crappy summer. And here it is, June, for the next 2 months. So I mean, how are all these green candles going to be a crappy 2 months? See, that part does not connect yet. And so I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, just like everybody else is. We don't have a clue what's going to happen. We just see some probabilities, and we're getting probabilities in both directions here. Choppy market. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I got to go over all of them. Let me take a look at TLM. Bigger time frame. This one looks interesting. Rounding out here at an area. What was all this? Oh, well, there's a trade setup that never worked. That was a measured move. That measured move almost hit. Didn't make it though. I don't remember. This might have been that, and I moved it. I doubt that I would have but I might have. We'll get back in on the. I don't know. Anyway, OTA, and we're saying, and that was something that didn't happen. Whatever that was. This is what TLM. Let's go to the daily, and let's clear it off so we can see what we got. lowest lows that we've been at. Let's hope that holds. That was not what I was trying to do.
When numbers fall, don't lose your spark. Find the light even in the dark. Every loss is just a part of the journey that shapes the heart. We bounce back up, we never fall. Every stumble makes us tall. Hold on to hope and heed the call. A brighter day waits for us all. Hold on strong, we're riding the waves. Through the highs and crashing caves. Though we stumble, we're not slaves. Our spirit free, our courage breaks.
Well, let's hope that we've got a trend line here that will hold. There is a slight chance that she might come down, test some of these lower areas, about 3 cents, or 0.003. We're at 0.00465. Doesn't sound like much, but it could be. Right now, we haven't done it yet, but we've made a lower low here. Broke trend line. I'm on the daily chart, by the way, so we broke that, so it is starting to look like we might be coming down to a lower level here. And I've got as low as 0.00279. It might get there. That's from a bigger pull. But it looks to me like she's actually trying to do some bottoming over here. So she broke out of this, retested that, come back down. Yeah, let's kind of see if we can catch some traction here if we make it down there. I think we might be able to. Let me check this one now. I'm gonna check this one on the weekly too. See what you look like. This one has got the red dot here rollover on the weekly. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's hard to believe. I mean, she's at bottom, and then you get that MACD on the weekly. Now she's bullish, but she's not going anywhere, leveling out here. So a little suspect, a little weak on the MACD. So those are some things to keep in mind on this. And I don't know how far down that I mean, she's so close to zero anyway, right? This probably has a lot of tokens in it. Let's go to the daily, see what the daily says. Still bearish moving averages there. Four hour. So they're trying to curve, but we lost it, and seen some of the altcoins have been doing that. Even though the ribbons are trying to curve and get bullish, you know, there's a rollover, and still it's a process. All right, so yeah, I think I'm still going to be looking for that at this 0.0033 cent area. It might have a chance. I mean, she could double bottom here, but she's made a lower low, just barely. And if she does come up, she's got to contend with this trend line here. So altcoins looking a little, some of them are looking really suspect, some of them look almost promising. So I mean, you really got to start really taking a closer look, especially on the weekly, I think, and some of those bigger time frames about what they look like. You don't want to sit in one and just watch it trickle dry and watch portfolios that are supposed to be making us, you know, life-changing money just dwindle away to nothing, because that's what can happen if they start coming down, right? So we're keeping our eyes on the market, trying to figure out if we're going to have we need avoid some of these altcoins, maybe get out of some of these altcoins, or maybe hang on to some of them. And it's getting kind of tricky, ladies and gentlemen. We'll figure. The weekends are not the time to figure out this stuff, though, because this is not the time to make your major decisions, in my personal opinion. During the week, and we see how the real market and the full market is going, you can make more sound decisions, and I think get better information, better data to make those decisions from. But on the weekend, it's There's a lot of games that are going on right now, and we'll probably see either a pump up or maybe a pump up and another dump tomorrow on the weekends. I hope it's more of a pump up since I'm in a long. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. That's all I got for tonight. 2 hours. Oh, pretty much on the dot. Ooh. Let's go to the end screen. So Solus is the winner of Virtual's Perkins Hackathon. Oh, really? Justin Griswold says, Cass was due for a huge bounce. I hope so. Doge just broke the 200 MA on the 1 minute. Oh, it's going to the moon. All right, I guess Joe is gone. It was after Stimpy and he acknowledged it on X. Uh-oh. Stimpy is only a $1 million market cap. I hear you, Strega. I hear you. Liquidity Unchained. What did I just walk into? Hit the rewind. Hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. Thank you, like it. Hang out with us. We'll just go over the market and use our charting skills and a lot of Fibonacci and trend lines. Looking for some good charts, some good trade setups. There's just not much of it going on right now. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. John Boy? Yeah? Good night, John Boy.